Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a wild one today. We are getting a little tricky around here. Welcome to Pocono Raceway, that tricky triangle here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. This should be an interesting one. As the GOAT Racing League bring the Truck Series back to action. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader, Chris Jarrett, joining you guys here today. We're set for quite a show today, race fans. Sim 500 Truck Series right now, ready to set battle here at Pocono Raceway here. There's certainly a lot of drivers. Definitely, probably a little weary of this one because it can get a little tough. As like I say, it may get a little tricky down on some of these stages and some of this racing. So, going to be interesting to see what goes down between the drivers' templates here and what they can do to the table. It's all going down right here live on PTM Racing TV. So, we're currently getting situated on our end here, making sure everything is ready to go. We are still rushing from the original broadcast we did on YouTube just a little bit ago. So right now, everyone getting set on the track here and getting everyone ready to go on the race here. Surface, let's take a look at our starting lineup. 27 bringing it to the table. Let's take a look at them. On the pole, the number 30 will be Brian V. Mack on the outside, the number 5, Chad Goldman. Row number 2 is Tyler Dalton, the 19. The outside is the 99, Tabby Ryan. Row number 3 is Mike Kelly in the 60 outside, and the 41, EJ O'Rourke. Row number 4 is Doy Woods, the 28, the outside, and the 11 is Ron Holyfield. Row number 5, Joe Hudson, the 15, the outside, and the 84, Anthony M. Calatani. Row number 6 is Steve Ritter in the 87, the outside, the 42 of Dakota Kramer. Row number 7 is going to be Aaron Action Jackson, the 12, the outside, and the 27 is Randall Watkins. Row number 8 is Shannon Wood, the 02, the outside, and the 7 Scott Simley. Row number 9, Scotty Sturgill, the 24, the outside, and the 35, Jeff Ryan. Row number 10 is going to be John Hickman Jr., the 60 outside, the Wild Man, Alan Wild, and the 75. Row number 11 is Randy Coaching, and the 48, the outside, and the 8 is Maurice Burnett. Row number 12, Charles Van Schaik, and the 23, the outside, and the 07, Dejon Monte. Row number 13 will be piloted down by Kevin England, the 127, the outside, and the 97 is Jeff Ramsdale. Final starter, the 80 is James Smith. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you got yourself a loaded one today. Lisa Bogbird coming on board says, good luck, bub. Oh, yes, good luck indeed. It should be a good one. It should be a wild one to say the least here. Looking to start the gun and start the field off in the best way possible, race fans. Here we go. Pocono, you have set your match. Stage number 1 begins here on Peak Race TV. Oh, a little bit of a drop out of the Promax zone. And again here, we got problems in turn number 1. J. Randall Watkins and Jeff Ryan involved in the situation. Both drivers hard into the wall protection. Seem to be okay, but unfortunately the truck's not so much. Tricky little turn number 1 to say the least, and it bites a few of them right out of the gate. Yeah, Watkins unfortunately getting into a bad spot there. The 02, Shannon Wood also in a nasty little tumble. Not a whole lot they could do really down there. And both drivers destroyed their trucks, so they are done for the day. Watkins went down in, and then you see the 87 getting a little bit tight on the charge there. There wasn't a whole lot of room down there for Steve Ritter to make a move from or get away from him, and unfortunately I think Watkins didn't realize what was going on until too late. Still trying to catch back up there. Brian V. Mack on the right onto the spot back on the drive here. So right out of the gate here, unfortunately losing a couple drivers due to the unfortunate situation coming off the turn there. That will definitely set our field back a little bit of a ways, but it does get us set down to take a look at our track tech talk today. Yeah, it's not an oval. This is legitimately a triangle. This is Pocono Raceway with 3 different configurations in the turn. Each turn representative of a different style corner. the first one, high banked, very steep in the collision turn. Then you got the overall tunnel turn in turn number 2. And then the everlasting tough one there in turn number 3. I've still yet to figure turn 1 completely out, but I know turn 3 is the Milwaukee Mile corner. Turn number 2 is Indianapolis Motor Speedway's corner. And I'm drawing a big blank on that first one. I can't remember for sure the name of it. It's it's not an obscure name, but it's not a name I've heard too much in the sim racing community before. So I do apologize for not being able to name the third one right away. I'll get you back to that as soon as I can. Field patrol on their way down off of the corners here, and just realized we didn't even get our timing sheet back up there. Sorry about that. So stage number 1 going to go to lap 10. Stage number 2 going to bring us to lap 23. From there, it's 27 laps to the distance. And again, you're probably wondering, oh, that doesn't sound like a whole lot. I want to remind you guys at home as well, this is 2.5 miles in length. This is not a small track. This is the size of Daytona International Speedway. And it's got, again, some of the toughest and the roughest tumbles and bankings you could ever ask for. As much as it's hard to figure out. Again, drivers will tell you this. You can figure out 2 turns in this place. That third turn, you can't figure it out completely. It's impossible. No one's been able to ever perfect it. There are those that have been able to figure ways to get around it, but nobody's ever been able to perfect it. Who will be able to last out and lean in this length of the race? Again, with a draft package like this, it's all about slingshots out of the start, and then from there, let the wear and tear of the tires and the fuel runs commence. Hope he gets somebody in that dirty air and work from there and hope for the best. But nevertheless, off of turn number 3, gonna lead him back down with Brian V. Mack on your race leader. Coleman will follow behind. Green is out. Macklin is controlling the situation. You immediately getting a good run there out of the corner there. The 99, Tommy Ryan, right there with him here. He lost his brother and Jeff Ryan there. So he's going to have to kind of hope that he can keep the Ryan family in place and in good position. DJ O'Rourke right now already standing up to his standards that he set at Bristol Motor Speedway in the aggressive level of the nature. Well aware and well acquainted with himself. And the Amcal tying the 84, Talking Giants versus the World right now, having a little bit of a go right in between this little battle between Hudson and Doy Woods. Joe Hudson still looking for his first win. Doy Woods, oh so close, and probably in my opinion, probably the best one to interview in terms of just like overall sheer spectacle that he brings to the table here. Uh-oh, a little trouble down there once more. Oh, wait a minute, that's Tyler Dalton, the 19. Problems down there on that back straightaway there from the 19 7500 driver. Not the spot usually you see from him to be put into, but it looks like he found himself in a bit of a dire strait here. Let's take a look at the replay. And I think I might have an idea what happened here. Oh, yeah, there it is. A bump there from O'Rourke. O'Rourke just got aggressive and wham! Dalton going for a nasty, nasty run on the inside there, going for a bad wreck there, unfortunately. Wasn't much he could do. I mean, really, where was he going to go with that? Well, we said earlier, Ulrich was going to get aggressive here, getting that slingshot maneuvering and trying to use the bump trap to his advantage. But right here, it's a bad spot to do it at. If there's a bright spot for Dalton, it was just the rear end that took most of the impact. But the downside is that's also where most of his speed is going to lay at. So right now, he's going to park that thing into the pit road and try to get it fixed quickly. No instant repairs in these races. All done by the driver in their time. And it looks like he's got a lot of damage. I got to clean up on that thing. George Corman saying, I believe, turn 1 modeled after the old Trenton Speedway. I believe that's actually the turn, sir. I think you're right. I was actually just trying to look that up myself, actually, while I was looking at the track and everything there. Leading him back down off of turn number 3 there. I know that I'm going to set him right back down in the field here and see what they can bring to the table here. Off the corner and back to the green flag. I gotta feel the roar and the love these drivers bring into the table here. And yes, I can confirm that turn 1 is the defunct Trenton Speedway. Running it back right out of the corners here, turn 3 here. Dakota Kramer and Steve Ritter going out a little bit. Field just trying to hold on to whatever they can here. Stage coming to a swift end here, though, in the final corners. EJ O'Rourke right now making one last dash, though, to Macklin. Trying to mash the gas pedal down through turn 3. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Brian V. Macklin, stage number 1 winner. Daring moves there by EJ O'Rourke, but not enough to break down the Navy brat himself, Brian V. Macklin. Macklin taking control of that one. So yes, George, you are right as well. Turn 1, named after that defunct Trenton Speedway there. So Trenton Speedway, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and Milwaukee Mile. All the corners they created with this racetrack in mind. So the field right now just going to square it back up. Again, pit stops will be a very essential need here. A lot of essential drivers going to need to be making some decisions here. Of course, they're all just trying to catch up there to the pace car. Pace car is down there off turn 1. There he is. There you can see the truck coming off now. Started with 27. We're currently down to 24 on the lead lap right now. Shannon Wood, the 02, too much damage on his truck. Send him relatively out of the skyline, out of the race here. So not going to be able to continue on, unfortunately. Field has caught back up, and now we're getting back under position and under control. So right now, currently, everybody getting from pit road here and in and out. Takes some fuel and some time there. Although those that stayed out, like Macklin, O'Rourke, Coleman, Kelly, Ryan, and a few others there, definitely deciding a different strategy. Very interested to see kind of the pinpoint and accuracy they're doing here. They actually got a lot of momentum to carry through with, and they got a lot of stuff to kind of figure out with, but no way and know how to kind of stay out of trouble with more than just racing your race and doing your thing. This field of drivers, again, they are hungry for wins, they're hungry for position, and it looks like already with one of them taking the nasty plunge into damage control, the 19, like Tyler Dalton, looks like he's already kind of scrapping everything he can just to try to hang into this race. Working from that back of the pack too is not going to be easy here, considering everything that's going on. And then guys like Randy Coaching are just clearing up any leftover damages or getting a little bit of extra speed that can get back underneath. Certainly making a huge consequential decision here. You know, it's crazy too. We talk about the Truck Series and NASCAR and all them not really coming to Pocono all that much except for the one time of the year, but really this track wasn't necessarily made in large part for NASCAR until it really became a bit of a place for them to really make their name, make their spot more here. This track actually, if you kind of figure it out, This place was designed more for IndyCar and open wheel drivers in mind. Matter of fact, one of the first races that ever was held here was actually just inside the actual little quarter mile here. About half a mile they have here from that front straightaway into the corners here. That was originally the design. That was actually one of the original races they actually had. It was an open wheel modified race they first started with. And then IndyCar kind of came around and then started to use the big oval that we now see today, or the triangular oval, whichever one you can call it. It's a tri-oval design, but I personally like to call it the triangular oval more than anything, because the tri-oval to me is literally what you see at Pocono Raceway. This is a triangular oval, where it's literally an actual triangle. So, but then NASCAR in the late 70s, late 80s, into the 90s, man, they had the ability to slingshot and really make moves where any car was not able to, and that is now where the history has kind of set itself. What used to be a crown jewel of a triple crown set for IndyCar has now been unfortunately seemingly lost to time. Same can't be said for NASCAR as they continue to come out here and put on a heck of a show when they can and still have some of the wildest crowds around. Hope to one day they'll see possibly other motorsports and of course IndyCar and them, maybe in IMSA and all them on the road course, then make a bit of a break here and a little bit of love to the Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania people. Definitely earned and will definitely be well earned and deserved there. So Pocono is definitely a bit of a misunderstood track in my opinion. As much as I don't like racing it, it's always a track that is more of an endurance and more of a mental encasing and cooperation. That was what it was designed to do. And that is what it's designed to create. It's not necessarily a track for just passing. It's more of a track designed to speak the volumes of that long, drawn-out battles each driver faces. Green flags back out. Let's see how they handle it. Chad Coleman already with the race win this season. O'Rourke gotten 2 to his name. Macklin 3 to his name. Looking to try to continue on that hot streak. Tommy Ryan right now trying to stay a little bit closer to his ground and a little bit closer to his clearance. He's only got 1 win to his name so far this season. He'd love to change that this time around. Very difficult to do though, especially considering when you got a foot into cooperation, everything they're doing right now, what they're facing up against. And this 550 horsepower package on these trucks already starting to push these drivers a little bit harder to make them moves quickly. Kramer's certainly showing a bit of it right now in the OnlyFans 42. 3 wide on that long, get it front straightaway though. This is what they come to see for the most part. Is that crazy little spot right in between. See if they can hang it down at turn 1. This is what they came to do. This is what they're going to bring to the table. They've got to hold it down. Off a corner. Good move there by Simley to stay in the throttle and continue to grasp the track. Kramer trying to fight him back though. Calatani and Jackson lingering right behind. Ramsdell and Ritter having a little 3 wide salute. Entering into a tunnel turn though. Maybe not the smartest idea. Backs right out. Higman Jr. straight line it back off. Nicely done. Nicely done by the drivers, making their moves and picking their fights when they had to. But it's getting a lot more difficult to do, especially when other drivers trying to make a run on from there. Ritter having to back off as Hickman Jr. gets a little bit too tight, entering into turn 3. From the Milwaukee Mile turn down to the longest straightaway you got around. Anybody's gas who can just even hang on and try to push the limits to the absolute most fulfilling. Every driver for themselves here, just trying to hang on down to the line, down to the team. Meanwhile, up front right now, here comes the train set in motion. The draft train, setting each corner up and setting the drivers up to try to master the turn. Macklin with the advantage so far, keeping Coleman honest and respectable, but yet still trying as well to force him to make some mistakes early. Macklin knows Coleman's going to be a lot more difficult to take down than that way. He knows he'll put up a fight. He knows he'll throw everything he's got at him to the very edge of his core. Little onboard shoot here from Mike Kelly here as he currently stays right into his own little playing field. Or maybe not. Look at this. Dropping in quick. Is he going to try to make the move on the 99? Very risky maneuvering. But the VAA11.com 99 staying out of trouble. Back up to the front though. Look at this. Coming to the tunnel turn. Coleman. He's got to run. He's got a seam. And he's going to stick it right in between. Right down to the narrow gap. Bridged in. Macklin though using the drafter's advantage. O'Rourke smelling blood in the water. He's trying to help Coleman. Maybe helped a little too much. He bumped him more than anything. Out of the way. Coleman now feeling the exact same pressure that Dalton got hit with on the back straightaway just a little while ago. The chaos and the heavy nature of this kind of racing is what's going to really throw these drivers into a bit of an interesting gap and pressurized situation. Try to determine the right moves and the right time just to get any kind of runoff while at the same time trying to watch for the tires burning, especially that right front turn number 1. I feel like that's going to be the corner that's going to offset a lot of drivers because, again, that banking down there is the highest of the track. It's 14 degrees. Everything else a lot lower. And it's tougher and tougher just to get a good grip and a grasp on, especially when you're dealing with the pressure like this right now. Each angle and run these drivers are getting is absolutely possessing just the overall amount of craziness and excitement that comes from trying to master the draft and master the moves. Loading up closely here, Joe Hudson going up against with Jeff Ramsdell. Hudson trying to make a move off down through turn number 1. He's trying to force Ramsdell to get a little bit aggressive here, trying to make him make some mistakes there by burning it up quicker. Hudson also, same time, trying not to get too close into him and end up forcing both of them into a bit of a nasty situation or a tumble. While Charles Van Schijk just kind of lingers around back there. I mean, there's one driver I was a little nervous about. If I'm with these drivers here, it's probably him. Not because of any dirty tactics or any moves he may throw at him, but just the fact Schijk is probably one of the most masterful tacticians I've seen as a strategist as well as a driver. He said it before, I can't qualify well, but I can sure race these boys to a long run if I have to. I would say not only that, he's extremely confident, talented enough to run that short run too. He knows a thing or two about how to take him down that way, so. This is what I'm talking about right here. Look at how you notice how he just nearly just turned the truck in. Because he's very, very patient. And waits for the right time to strike, but no room there. Hudson may be keeping him at bay for a minute. So he's through right now on the number 24 after having a little bit of a hiccup or two between. Just trying to watch himself and watch his angles out in the turns and out through the corners. Kind of hard to kind of keep up with the gaps, keep up with the drives here because everybody right now just seems to want to have a piece of the pie. And it looks like Aaron Jackson and Kyle Tony now have a little go at it. You can just see each corner, man, they're starting to break away from packs, they're starting to break away from their own positions. If you're not up front keeping those RPMs up, it's so hard to catch it back up because, again, the way that power works and the way these cars and trucks work, unless you got a 900 horsepower in that bad boy, man, you are pretty much at the mercy of the fuel and the tire run you get. Let me take it for this example here, guys. Top speed right now for Macklin and Coleman. 179 miles per hour and 181 miles per hour on the backstretch. The other drivers back behind them, 188, 187, one hitting 190. that should tell you a lot. Tells you a lot of how difficult it is to truly get that truck to catch back up. So you see a lot of drivers early on, they get so aggressive. They have a reason for it. They're trying to outsmart the track before the track outsmarts them, and then everyone else already ran away from them. It's easier said than done, though, especially in cases like that. Riding them on down off the corners, though. Brian V. Macklin, Jack Coleman, EJ O'Rourke, Tommy Ryan, Mike Kelly, Scott Simley, Doy Woods, Calatani, Aaron Jackson. Well, actually, excuse me, Calatani did go on lap 12 as caution is out on the track. That, I believe, was the stage break. Yep, competition caution out, so the stage break is out, and that will all but do it for our 2 stages. Now heading into our final stage. 27 laps on the line. So Brian V. Macklin picking up some much needed stage points there, and really, I think that's probably the best case scenario he needs and what he needed to really bring to the table. He needed to just kind of stay focused and kind of keep himself upright here and work his way through the track and work his way through progress here. That certainly will help, but same token, he still has to be careful and well knowledged on when and where he makes his moves and where he makes his shots here. So could be a testament to his overall patience and perseverance here. Yeah, this right here, this pit's going to definitely set the tone for these drivers, in my opinion. We got to watch carefully here. Because coming out of pit road, this will set every driver into a very crazy little situation of whether or not they get in and out of pit road properly and get in themselves enough fuel and tires. Strategy's being played out. Trying to rush him out of pit road. Coleman gets a better pit exit, and he's going to get Macklin. So your new leader will be Jack Coleman. Brian V. Macklin not able to keep him honest, to keep him behind. Most of the other drivers staying in their positions there. O'Rourke, Ryan, Simley, Woods, Kelly, Ritter, Calatani, and Ramsdell. I think out of all of them, I think Ramsdell actually was the one that moved up the most there. So, I don't know, folks. You be the judge of that one, but it looks like a minor blimp and a minor issue out of pit road for Macklin. Although I think, honestly, he may have been just trying to get as much fuel into the truck as he could, and it looks like he may have actually sped on pit road, and not too sure. Nope, looks like he was just trying to save up fuel and try to stay out of the way there of O'Rourke. If you hear them going silent on you, don't worry. That's not your television screens or your phones or your computers, guys. It's literally they're literally clutching the trucks in, just trying to save all the fuel they can. The field has now double filed up yet again. That's going to be interesting to see out the start. I will see if Coleman in this situation, is he going to be able to hold off or work with how aggressive he's been? Is he going to be able to keep Macklin under check too? Very interesting spot here to be at. With 24 laps remaining, race fans, this one is all for a spot here. Everybody going into pit road that time around. This now sets the bar. Pit strategies and fuel going to be set in motion. Let's see how it goes down to the wire here. Green flag is back on now. Here we go. Coming around the corner there, Coleman got trapped in between, and a massive pile up ensued. And look out, the big one is struck on the back straightaway. Oh my! A nasty situation there coming off turn number 1, and a pile up ensuing. I see Tyler Dalton down there. He's out of this race now. That truck just got completely destroyed out there. Something going wrong here. Off the corner. Take a look, see what we can see here. Whatever had happened, looks like it may have all Ramsdell there. Oh my, Aaron Jackson, holy cow. Took a nasty little spot there and took a very tough little tumble. Let's see if we can get a better camera angle here on how that happened. Trying to see from multiple angles here. Looks like Ramsdell got clipped there by the 12 of Jackson. Yeah, there's the hit. And that was the initial contact spot there. Oh, man. Sick of Tyler Dalton there. Just jam right into the 48 of Randy Coaching there. Nothing he can do about it. I mean, there really was nowhere for him to go, unfortunately. It was just a bad situation. So I really don't know what else you could say about that one. That was just a really tough and raw deal there for the drivers. See your onboard camera. This is Tyler Dalton. Well, that was Kramer actually. He clipped up there. And you can just see right there, once the motor was gone, the motor was gone. There is nothing else he can do about that. So Randy Coaching is out of the race. Looks like Tyler Dalton all but done at this point. He can try and get their motor replaced all he wants. I don't think he's going to have anything left. EJ O'Rourke taking the lead away from Chad Coleman. Brian V. Macklin staying in the second spot. Everybody else trying to hang in there. Sammy Urel saying, let's go team 43 there on the chat. Sammy, good to have you on board. George, up to answer your question earlier, they did all pit in, as I think I mentioned down the call there. Now everybody just at this point just trying to stay out of trouble or get whatever damage they can fixed up. This final stage is definitely going to get them all rallied up and ratted out for some more battles to come. Field has doubled up yet again, and now it's time to settle them back down and settle this score up a bit. Interested to see how far they will take and they'll come and go. EJ O'Rourke right now currently looking for win number 2. Guys win last time out at Bristol Motor Speedway. Looking to try to steal another one here. From the small tracks to the big tracks, he'll drive them all as aggressively as he has to. Some drivers keeping a clear conscience on that and trying to avoid those kind of situations, but for him, they don't seem to bug him too much. The only thing that really bugs him is just not being able to compete at such a high level. You're going up against guys like Macklin, Coleman, Dalton when he was around there, Simley and all them. You certainly got to fight it out here. Off the distance out through corner number 3, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to bring him back down to the line off the corner. Set him in motion once more, boys. We're going green flag racing here in Long Pond at the restart zone, and it's gonna be O'Rourke setting him down. George rode on his boy there in that 84, and right now he's got a good reason to. He's stuck on the outside line, and he's got a perfect grip to use the power of the draft. If he can just get it clear there of the rest of the field. Off of turn number 1, it's a clear gun from there. Much better pacing. It looks like out of the bunch, Coleman, the only one trapped in a bit of a bad spot. Mike Kelly trying to capitalize on it now too. Trying to get it real aggressive now, trying to hang on to that line, trying to stick it to wherever he can. Tommy Ryan, the 99 here, locking the bumpers. But Coleman didn't want Coleman to get in that turn, but he had to let it off and had to give it to him. And look at that bump drafting technique there. That's a big move there to use, especially when they go into that drive set. Got to narrow it down and try to figure it out from here. Scott Simley. See where he can kind of stick it into, and Kyle Tony right in that mix there, right behind him. You can just hear the roar of these things too. Absolutely pounding and just driving the absolute limits off these things, just trying to hope for a little bit of grip, a little bit more ground and coverage, while at the same time trying to narrow down the gaps, trying to narrow down speeds and variabilities. Ron Holyfield, the Napa Auto Parts number 11 right now, gonna fire in a little bit deeper in the turn. Currently dealing with these on Monday and out a while down there. And again, once we kind of got them a little bit more stretched out, a little bit more figured in, that's where it just becomes a lot more difficult to make some extremely aggressive maneuvers and have to kind of hold back on those until you got it set up for the right time. like you see right now, O'Rourke in a bit of a troublesome spot, had a block. The number 6 of Mike Kelly, saw him driving a little bit lower there, trying to settle the trying to settle the truck down. And it looks like O'Rourke, he's really trying to get him off that trap. May have been a bad move though, because Macklin just kind of lingering around with him. Every driver right now looking to try to swerve and corner the turns. But for Mike Kelly right now, this isn't just a matter of trying to swerve around O'Rourke. This is a matter of trying to finally break a long-running second-place streak he's had this season. He's trying to get win number 1 finally and end this route out. A long drought to be had, and certainly not one you ever want to think about. Mentally, it just puts that wear and tear in your mind and just makes you think, am I truly good enough to get it figured out? Am I truly going to have an ever-elusive win in due time? It all sums up in many ways and all sums up what they can do. Looks like Kelly, though, is going to have a little bit more of a troublesome spot on his end. Right down the half. Macklin looking to capitalize on the inside. He's got some help there from Coleman, though, kind of using him as a bit of a backdraft, bit of a pump trap to try to stick with it. There's no room for error here, though. Again, with those corners and those tight-ended turns, you've got to just barely narrow down each level of that playing field and making sure you're still getting the right time to get off the gas and back on the throttle. So looks like Scott Sidley even kind of poking the bear a little bit, looking to poke his way inside. Kelly back into the second spot. Trying to stretch it right back into the corner down. A little 3 down and 3 dropping. Big move off. Oh, a little side bump there. Coleman and Simley just barely each etching out a little stripe there. 2 and 2. A little training the paints. Not talking about the website either that we use to get our paint schemes up. I'm talking a little actual swapping the paints out right. A lot more left to give still, a lot more time to be using. You see us at service, feeling more pressure from Macklin. Macklin trying, I mean, he's trying. He's getting everything he can to catch that inside of Kelly to get to O'Rourke here. Macklin already gained a lot of stage points there from his two points he gained there from the stages. But he's already still looking to gather more by winning this race outright. Easier said than done, though, considering how tough it is just to make the proper maneuvering there. Set him back down onto the track here right now. The Birdie and Macklin getting a run off there. Look at this. Mike Kelly actually did find a way around O'Rourke. We've got ourselves a new leader. Just barely missed it as it was happening there. Thankfully, we do have this very fortunate feature called the instant replay button. Let's take a look at it here and see how he was able to capitalize. Ah, the old tunnel turn playing favorite and dividend to the 6. O'Rourke, look at this. He was putting it up to him. He did not give an inch there, but that block from the 6. And then a beautiful drive off. Gives him a chance here. But he's going to have a little bit more than life to keep this run up. He's going to need a little bit of luck. Here we go down on turn 2 yet again. Back to the tunnel turn. Coleman starting to push O'Rourke in a spot. And Kelly into the wall right on the turn number 2. There goes back on the outside. Now look in. Kelly slamming the wall down, and Macklin making the proper maneuver to corner around it. Kelly all of a sudden losing out traction, and all that ground he had lost in time. But in turn, in doing so, he gave those other drivers a little bit of time to catch back up. They're going to go 3 wide down that front straightaway to turn number 1. O'Rourke right now struggling to keep up. Hickman Jr. and Doy Woods right now trying to stabilize the trucks up. If I'm Hickman Jr. and I'm Doy Woods right now, I think maybe a good time start drafting and bump draft up a bit. And Mike Kelly right now, I guess if I was him, I'd probably be a little bit more infuriated with just the move I made, not what everyone else did behind me. Just a raw deal. Made a great pass in turn 2 on O'Rourke the first time, and then having to play defensive against Macklin. All of a sudden just trapped into the wall there and nothing he can do about it. It's the worst feeling you can imagine. Now, we saw some drivers staying out as long as they could for 27 laps. I think that might be the same predicament Macklin and Coleman and the others are figuring here. See what they can do here. Tyler Dahl just said in the comments section, guess that is one way to end the reign of terror. I'll get back to you in a minute there, Dalton, but like right now we got one more little battle go through here. This is for the lead. Coleman, Macklin, and Ryan. 3-truck battle with a little Simley hanging back behind him. Little old Scott Simley just kind of playing it right into his field and his neck of the woods. Looking for anything he can to get around both of them. This is his onboard camera. This is what he sees right now. He's seeing these guys going head-to-head. Such a troublesome and tough dilemma here. Look at that side draft off the corner to the front straightaway too. Using everything he can to get a little bit more run. Just trying to squeeze anything else out of that 99 while also trying to pull the rope. Playing a little tug-of-war with Chad Coleman just to run the gap down. Going back to what Dalton said a minute ago, Dalton, I don't think that reign of terror is over till this season's over with, my friend. At least for this race, Pocono got a little too tricky for you, but I mean, that's just what I'm seeing out there. But a tough break nevertheless, though, Dalton. It's still great to see you back on the show. Great to have you back on the track here. Hopefully, we'll see you next Sunday. We'll see you next Saturday night, or Sunday afternoon, I should say, depending on how things go. Currently, right now, we're working on that situation here, but I won't go too far in depth with it. Just in around life stuff there, guys. Always got to kind of juggle around these days. It looks like that draft that Coleman was backing off from there from Macklin now seems to be kind of his setting motion position. Top 5 right now out of the manufacturer's business. Macklin, the Toyota, the Ford with Coleman, and the Chevy with Ryan. Then the Toyota and the Chevy mixed in with Simley and Calatani. That is currently how we're playing this field out in terms of the manufacturer branded market. And again, you're probably wondering, home, well, what does the manufacturer's got to do with it? Well, it does a lot with it, actually. With this kind of race, this kind of ordeal, if you can lock the front bumpers and the rear bumpers up better than the other drivers, then it really does help. And those Fords, usually on races like this, they have the advantage because of the aerodynamic dependency that they create by how their slope noses are almost kind of like a scoop, if you will, while still kind of having that bulky little front edge to narrow down drivers and push them further along. Works a lot better on the next-gen Cup cars, I'll tell you that much. Look at the damage on O'Rourke there, the 41. He got a nasty little slap there off turn 2's wall earlier. And it shows, too. And I gotta believe right now he cannot be too thrilled about that. He's just probably thinking to himself, how the heck did I let this happen here? So. Coming right back down off the corner edges here, down to the turns. Everybody just hanging in there. Running them back through, off back straight away to the front. Macklin again, trying to hold on. But he's going to not have Coleman this time, but rather Tommy Ryan intervening. Oh, Tommy wants this one. He's going to go for it. There it is through turn 1. Mere laps remaining. Big drive off for the 99. Scratching the playing fields here. These drivers are almost really deadlocked on one another, just trying to get the better out of the other. Time running out. A mere 6 laps left to go. Scratching along right back into the playing field here. Macklin just getting himself started up with Tommy Ryan yet again. Possibly looking for a big jump in the position and in the spot. Really, it could be anybody's guess here. Who catches the break and who catches on a mistake here. We saw earlier Ryan getting right in there when Overwork got on the wall, and so did Kelly. And Macklin having to dodge that big spot there and shoot the gap. Right now, these drivers are going to have to shoot more than just a few thrills. They're going to have to shoot for the moon and shoot for the stars. Looks like Calatani trying to do that. Is he going to draft off the 7? Yes, he is. Looks like he's going to try to bump draft the inside run. Got to set the corner up. Simply trying to set it up too. Coleman right there in it. Tough situation there. Calatani having to evade the action, evade position. And look at Dory Woods, the 28. I don't know if this guy is literally like a cockroach out there, man. He just does not leave anything alone. He somehow still finds a way to feed off these drivers. He hasn't been to victory lane yet, but this guy just does not give an inch. I think honestly the way he's cutting down some woods, cutting down some forest, you might want to call him the lumberjack down there. He's cutting down a lot of drivers and he's cutting down a lot of traffic here. Trying to cut in position and cut through. He's running out of time though. As right now, you can see Ryan is starting to further himself up. The field right now needs to start pump drafting a little bit harder, or they need to start really thinking about that fuel run and hope that somebody messed up on something. Because Tommy Ryan's not giving an inch here. Coming up on the final laps to go. Oh, and Overwork, man. Talk about a fall from grace with that driver as well. Him and Mike Kelly there, both guys. Not much they can do about this one, and they know it too. And I gotta believe that's really hurting their spots and their minds here. The pride definitely took a huge hit from this one. But as I've said it before, and I'll say it again as we go 3 wide, never ever put yourself down in these races. Never ever let yourself go. You've just got to reel yourself back up, put yourself back on the top of the playing field, and remember who you are. And from there, everything goes its way and goes its place. Time running out here. 2 laps remain here. Tommy Ryan staying well in control and well in position. Take this one home. James Skinner says, Talking Giants versus the world. Well, you may be taking over the world in the top 5, but unfortunately, I don't think that leader spot is going to be coming this time unless these guys make a huge mistake. And again, I mean these guys, I mean one guy right now. Unless Coleman and Macklin somehow find a way to catch him. But this is honestly about 0.3 of a second. That's a huge gap they've got to come up with. As Ryan possibly overdrive it, possibly. Oh, look at this. They give him an opening here. Macklin Coleman. Look, this might not be over with yet, ladies and gentlemen. Top 5 on your screen. Watch that gap as it continues to change out when we get to the final lap. Ryan trying to hold it down. Macklin has got himself all he's got to cut out for this one. Ryan just needs 3 more good corners. White flag in the air. Look at him just sharp edging those corners too, and on the straightaway just swerving and trying to make anything work to get him away from him. Right down off the pack here. Time running out. Macklin, spot an opening. Is this the chance? He's trying. He's buffing. He's puffing. Ryan trying to defend it. Can he get the tunnel turn set? No, he can't. Macklin in the inside. Oh, but he had to back off. Coleman going right back in between there. Look at Sibley. Look at Sibley. Huge run for the 7. Can he somehow catch the 99? Oh, he missed the opportunity through turn 3. Off the final corner in turn 3. Tommy Ryan gets this one. He snatches victory lane today at Pocono. Wow. Oh, my. How about that one, race fans? That is what you call a battle. Win number 2. And probably none more sweeter. Not a one-hit wonder in this one. Tommy Ryan takes one home in what is best described as one of the toughest tracks to master. He masters each run, he mastered each position, and took down a ever-loving, tough to tame Ryan Macklin coming to the edge of that tunnel turn. And a hard charge, and Scott Simley mixed in behind with a tough as nails trying to fight back to him. Chad Coleman in the 5. What a performance. Can't say anything bad about Calatani either. He was looking for opportunities when he can. Ran out of time. Charles Van Schaik, no surprise, moving into that top spot. Doy Woods earlier looked like he was going to fire something at these guys. But in this day, it will belong to the 99 Tommy Ryan. What a race. It looks like he'll take a little victory lap around the track. Tommy Ryan winning it out. Chad Coleman going 2nd. Scott Simley 3rd. Ryan B. Macklin 4th. Anthony M. Calatani 5th. Charles Van Schaik 6th. Doy Wood 7th. 8th. Joe Hudson 9th. John Himkin Jr. 10th to Steve Ritter, rounding out the top 10 in this one. And what could best be described as an absolute madhouse of excitement. What a performance by everybody involved. Definitely hats off to those that are able to stay away from the wrecks and avoid situations. Certainly having to avoid more than their fair share, but nevertheless, we round it out with our top 3 today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to listen to the finishers today. Coming away today in the ever-elusive 3rd spot, ladies and gentlemen, Scott Simley. Putting on a performance and putting on a battle. Taking this one on down for a solid end run there. See if we can hear from him here. I think the driver's just kind of getting situated out there. Looks like he's ready to talk with us now. Scott, you got a copy down there?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, Scott, congratulations bringing it on home. A 3rd place finish today here, sir. And you had what a run there in the entering turn 3. Honestly, there was some folks out there that were kind of holding their breath because you were going straight for it. What was going through your mind when you saw that opening and that gap to fill, my friend?
Yeah, I think Tommy got tight, and that's kind of what made me and Chad be able to catch up too. And then I had a little bit of a run. It's just so hard to pass on that inside. You get tight. Tommy got tight. That let Macklin get on the inside of him, and then Macklin got tight. So then that let me and Chad kind of catch up, and yeah, I was able to blast by there and hang on. I mean, that was such a lot of fun. We were brawling out there, that's for sure.
You were definitely brawling out there and putting up everything up to your best performance here. Simile, I'll ask this real quick to you, sir. I mean, with the way this one played out, is third kind of the best way to settle it for you and your team, or do you feel like maybe you could have done just a little bit more there early on?
Yeah, I kind of missed out on practice. I didn't have a lot. I only had, I think I had like 5 minutes when I got in, so I didn't get much practice in, which really hurt my qualifying efforts. So, I lost out on first stage points anyway. Had I did a little better qualifying, hard to say. I felt that we were probably maybe in the top five for sure, but yeah, it was a good run for us. We'll take it.
For sure there. Well, Simile, I'll ask you this real quick, sir. What do you want to thank you for this third today?
Sim 500 in the Goat Racing League. Charles, getting all these guys together and keeping this group going. I like what he's doing. He's doing a great job. And, Joey, too, with the league. And just all these guys for showing up tonight again. It's fun racing with this group of guys where you can run this hard and run this tight. And, everybody is confident in everybody's ability and be able to do what we were doing there. It was a lot of fun.
For sure there, Scott. Congratulations bringing this one on home for third today, sir.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Scott Simile, ladies and gentlemen, taking a third place today. Second place here for Chad Coleman. Now, Chad, I know a long time ago I made the old joke. You were pretty much kind of finishing second there most of these races. But in this case, I think you can't really be too mad about it considering how tough Pocono is. This one was just a tricky little run from start to finish. But, man, did you make some big, big moves coming late into that race.
Man, that was fun. It's a lot of fun to have a race like that every once in a while where it's just nobody's worried about anything else. It's just an all-out brawl. And being around the guys who was around out there, Tommy and Scott and Macklin, those guys like that, 95% of the time you can trust that they're not going to make a mistake. And if they do, that's all it is a racing mistake. But, man, it's fun when you can race like that because we had an absolute brawl for probably the last 8 or 9 laps of that race.
You talk about being a bit of a brawl, been a bit of a fight out from point A to point B. I mean, for you and this team to come away with more positions and more runs like this, I'd have to feel at this point like you're really kind of honing in on trying to get the best and the most out of your equipment, aren't you, at this point?
Yeah, we're going to try to. Well, I know we're going to run for a championship for when that deal starts here, and seeing the competition you're going to have to beat. It's going to be tough. There's about 6 or 8, maybe 10, 8 to 10 guys in here that are really fast and really good and could win any given week. So makes it interesting, makes it a challenge. But tonight we had a lot of fun. That was fun. Of course, good win for Tommy there. He made the right moves when it counted. But man, that was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, nevertheless, though, I'll ask you this, Coleman. Who do you want to thank for the second place finish?
Yeah, I gotta thank all the guys with Goat over here with Charles. Charles has a pretty good group of guys, and we enjoy coming over here and doing some different deals. They got stage racing, less fuel, less tires. It adds some strategy into the mix, so it's a lot of fun. And of course, thanks to you broadcasting, and thanks to Trey Odson for painting this truck a couple of years ago.
For sure there, Chad, man. Congratulations once more on a podium today for you and the team, sir.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Chad Coleman, ladies and gentlemen. Well, to round out the night, he's going to take one home again, ladies and gentlemen. Old Tommy Ryan gets himself win number 2 at last, and Tommy, no longer a one-hit wonder on the broadcast side, but, you certainly put everything into the breadbasket here and looked for the right time to strike. I believe it was Kelly and Macklin that started the situation after Ulwork got sent back there. Then it was just a matter of time for you to kind of save up the last bit of momentum to catch to Macklin. I got to believe, though, those tires were screaming at you, getting harder and harder just to make those proper moves to make the pass, wasn't it?
Yeah, the right front was definitely giving up there, and I had gotten really tight off turn 3 and off turn 2 one time. And that's what got them by, because I was kind of holding like a 4/10 over Macklin, and then I got tight, and then he was able to get pushed by, I guess, Chad right there, and they got back to me. But yeah, I just it was a chess match, man. I just didn't know what to do.
It really was a chess match, and it was an absolute war of a unit and attrition there just to get this figured out. But the fact you got win number 2 now to your name, I mean, where do you go from here? I mean, does this kind of just give you all the rest that you need to figure out to try to go for the championship as all said and done?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to try to keep racking up wins. Points will come as long as you get good finishes. So, and I'm just not even kind of worried about points. I'm just having fun, and um, you know, the points will, like I said, the points will come. But if I start worrying about points, then I'll start doing stupid stuff. So that's a low stress environment is all I need. I just go out there and just do what I do.
Absolutely. Well, nevertheless, though, as you worry about only what's going on the track rather than off the track, I gotta ask you, Ryan, who do you want to thank for this one?
Oh yeah, 811, call before you dig, and then Northern Tool and Equipment. So before y'all go digging in your yard, call the number, and then go to Northern and buy your supplies that you need to do your work with.
All right, Ryan, man, what a position, what a performance today for you and the team. Congratulations, bringing this one on home, buddy.
Appreciate it, guys.
Tommy Ryan, ladies and gentlemen, your race winner today. Whoo, boy, oh boy, oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, this was a fun one. Pocono, you certainly do not disappoint sometimes, and you certainly brought it today. That'll about do it for your coverage here from Pocono. Thanks again to Sim 500 and the GOAT Racing League for their support. Thank you to all the fans tuning in. We appreciate you guys more than anything, and you're the ones that keep the life and blood of these series and these leagues to go. So thank you so much for your time. Until next time, race fans, be safe out there. Take care of yourselves.